Here's a step-by-step guide on how to deal with police questioning. Hey, wait a minute. Are there still these kinds of tutorials these days? Then I'll have to step in. Let's analyze a traffic accident video from the internet. Firstly, the police officer will ask about your speed. How fast were you going at the time? The life-saving answer is that I strictly adhered to the speed limit rules while driving. Please refer to the professional assessment for the specific speed. Rely on the assessment, okay? You said that yourself. I didn't want to impound the car in the first place. Since you mentioned the need for an appraisal, then I'll reluctantly impound the car. Impounding the car to collect evidence is reasonable and legal. You can see from the beginning of the video, this video actually has no meaning for discussion or teaching, because it has no premise. There is no specific case content to extend indefinitely. Is it an ordinary accident or a serious accident? Using these words, using this set of words, for ghost pedestrian accidents, will this statement work? Can it also be applied to running a red light? It's not specific or clear, so it's not really helpful. You can refer to it, but don't believe everything. Secondly, there's responsibility inducement, where they ask if you're also responsible. The life-saving answer is the determination of responsibility. I fully respect and cooperate with the police investigation. Before the official determination comes out, I reserve my opinion, since we have to cooperate with the investigation. Then drawing a secondary responsibility is not a problem, right? Universal safe driving. Civilized driving. Isn't it cooperate and respect? The determination letter is still valid even if you don't sign or acknowledge it. So the correct approach is to fully express your views before the responsibility is determined. You must fully express your views. Only when it doesn't work will you consider subsequent processing through compounding. Don't postpone things that can be solved in the early stages to a later battle. How to battle specifically. No one has the correct answer and formula to copy. So the face-to-face battle is actually responding to each move, not based on specific cases. Teaching people about accidents in a vague way can only increase anxiety and even increase unnecessary losses. The most typical extremist representative of handling accidents is the 3-no principle. No visiting, no advance payment, no mediation. This thing is said to be too absolute. It's really a bit extreme. I won't go into details. The third question is about observation. Ask if you saw the other party's life-saving measures. The answer is that I was driving normally in my lane. The other party suddenly entered, all exceeding the reaction time. You can indeed describe ghost pedestrian accidents like that, and you don't have to memorize his words exactly. But generally, it revolves around suddenness and unpredictability. You can just describe it that way. This doesn't mean you can describe other accident types the same way. We can't generalize. Remember that. When you get the liability document, you must scrutinize it word by word. If you find anything wrong, go for a review within 72 hours immediately. This mistake really shouldn't have been made. The review period for this traffic accident is not 72 hours, but rather within 3 working days. Easy to understand, right? Traffic police are also human. They also need to rest. So it's stipulated as 3 working days. Also, you need to submit a review application to the next higher level. For example, an accident handled by the brigade, you go to the detachment to submit the review application. As for the template for the review application, you can just let AI create one for you. Traffic accidents that are clearly not your fault, but you are found liable. The problem lies in the 3 sentences you answer to the traffic police. First, they ask you what your speed was. You should answer, I was strictly following the road speed limit. The specific speed is subject to the professional appraisal results. Don't make any random guesses here. Second, they ask if you should also bear some responsibility. You should answer, I will fully cooperate with the investigation. Liability allocation. Please issue a determination letter in accordance with the law. Isn't the legal profession now also playing the game of homogenized content? Videos like this really lower the quality of lawyers. It's meaningless to discuss without establishing a specific case. Traffic accidents are dynamic. Different locations, a sign. A broken line can completely overturn the allocation of responsibility. There is no unified and all-purpose answer. I guess these 2 lawyers want to teach everyone how to answer when taking a statement during some serious accidents. After all, some staff members like to guide the parties involved, to say unnecessary things to take responsibility. This kind of thing does exist. The 2 lawyers' starting point is good, but they made many cuts to cater to the algorithm. It was originally very positive, but it's a pity it wasn't explained clearly. I suggest the 2 lawyers film a short drama. The Q&A format will be more effective. Use classic cases like ghost pedestrians and running red lights, etc., and explain it in a way that seeks to avoid responsibility. The traffic won't be low. Believe me, today's video is a bit long. If you don't connect to Wi-Fi before watching my video, then your data plan might not be enough. Then you should summon your application card. It only costs 29 yuan a month. The 192 gigabytes of data is more than enough. It's also officially shipped by China Broadcasting Network. With it, when driving outside, not only do you not have to worry about dropping connection, but you can also surf the internet intensely 24 hours a day. Unlike buying data packages, 1 gigabyte costs more than a yuan. The 192 gigabytes on the application card is general data. After the first month's free trial, for 5 years it's just 29 yuan a month, 1 cent per GB. The remaining data this month can still be used next month. It's really more than enough no matter how you use it. Get 2 more subcards, and share data with family and friends. Its average internet speed can reach 500 megabytes. Watching videos and playing games are very smooth. Like my old card, just use the number keeping plan and then add the application card, specifically for internet use. This internet speed is really awesome. The application link is in the comments section. Free application, nationwide shipping to your home. If you're not satisfied, you can cancel online at any time. I've secured 100 spots for you guys. If you need it, just go for it. Can we let it go this time? Life is so difficult. Days of growing up together in the next life. Some know, some won't have much today. I don't know if this is the original audio of the singing, or is it dubbed later. Anyway, it's very interesting, but that's not the point. Let's watch the video. The car steered a little to the left. His action. If you hit someone, there's a reason for determining a secondary responsibility, which is improper operation. The correct approach is to grip the steering wheel tightly and step hard on the brakes. Stay still. I've said this so many times. If the other party wants to cause trouble, let them get up and move themselves, or move to a wider space on the right-hand side. Then turn the steering wheel to the left. In fact, it's somewhat intentional. And also honked the horn twice. You're saying you didn't notice the danger? That's obviously not going to fly. If a collision really happens, it's perfectly fine to assign secondary responsibility due to improper operation. In short, the risk is high. We may not necessarily gain an advantage. The best approach is to stay put. That way, you won't be held responsible and pushing the other person into a defensive state. As a result, in this case, the other party intentionally crashed into you. You all have seen this before, haven't you? I'll break it down for you in detail in a couple of days. Then some viewers will say, oh, big hammer. Isn't it okay for a driver's instinct to be as habitual as their left arm? First of all, congratulations. You have learned to discuss specific cases. But the answer is still no. Drivers need to be able to handle emergencies on the road. Otherwise, incorrect handling will worsen the consequences of the accident. For example, stepping on the accelerator instead of the brake, right? Turning the steering wheel to the left in the video does not help to avoid the traffic accident. You will be considered secondary responsible. It really is possible. But in this video, he didn't crash. You said, I turned the steering wheel. I'll scare him a little bit. I'll teach him a lesson. Can I scold him a few words? Absolutely no problem. But just don't crash into him. After all, those who overtake on turns, we don't need to defend them either. Well, there's not much useful information in this accident. It looks like it's a bend here, but with a bit of curvature, it's still a turn. We can't be sure either. Let's not get hung up on responsibility for now. Let's focus on the driver's pulling action. I know it's frustrating when your car is hit by those ghost fire youths, but in this kind of accident, never pull them. Look, he's holding his stomach. There's a high probability that internal organs will be injured. Now it's a tug of war. Then it's likely to turn into a dispute. In two-wheeled vehicle accidents, the most common injuries are liver and spleen damage. The correct thing to do is to call 120 immediately. Deal with the injuries first. Now is not the time to argue about who is right and who is wrong. The motorcycle rider's behavior is not only not illegal, but I personally highly recommend it. On the one hand, it improves their own traffic efficiency, can also ensure safety. More importantly, it has a positive guiding significance. You see, after the electric scooter next to them saw the motorcycle rider pushing, they also got off and pushed. Subtly influence others. At the intersection, you have to get off and push. To a certain extent, it will reduce the probability of accidents. It's a win-win situation, you could say. I suggest that all motorcycle riders learn from this. Flexibly switch between the forms of motor vehicles and pedestrians. Sometimes you will get unexpected results. I can't take it anymore. A perfect score. What the hell is this? Ha 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 ha. Oh. Who tagged me? You don't understand it, and neither do I. Because this traffic light is broken. So, what do you do if you encounter a broken light? We can observe the traffic flow in other directions. Are there lights broken? Then calculate your order based on the release order of other directions. Also, be sure to keep the materials from your recorder. In case you get caught by a camera, you can appeal. Call 1102, or 122, or the landline of the local command center. If you report it, someone will handle it. After all, not every intersection has people patrolling at all times. I've encountered similar situations before. Give the command center a call. After the command center verifies, they will notify the personnel on the road to come and manually direct traffic. As long as you're on the road, everyone may encounter this situation, but there are many ways to solve it. Alright then, that's all for today. If you see any interesting videos in the future, you can tag me directly. That's it for today. See you next time.